tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Today morning, Raila Odinga landed in Muranga County in style, hosted by the area governor, Mwangi Wairia, and Royal Media Chairman, SK Masharia. Yes. And from the leaders present, it seems that all top leaders from Mount Kenya region were all present. All governors were there, save for Mutai Kahiga of Nyeri County and Kimemia of Nyandarua County. And all the other governors were present. There was Kiambu Governor Nyoro. There was Muranga Governor who hosted the event. Mwangi Wairia and Waiguru Kirinyaga Governor was present. And also Laikipia Governor was also present. And then there were also a host of leaders from Mount Kenya who were also present. We had Mauka Maore, we had Gatanga Member of Parliament, we had Kanini Kega, we had Maina Kamanda, and all other, and a majority of the leaders were also present. But one thing that caught my attention, ladies and gentlemen, was that all these leaders present, when they were given the podium to speak, it was as if they had all agreed to endorse Raila Amolo Odinga. Right when Nyoro Kiambu Governor stood to speak, he was assuring Raila of Mount Kenya votes. And Waiguru the same, Mwangi Wairia Sama also the same, and also Laikipia Governor also the same. And Kanini Kega also made it just clearly as the other leaders had made it. So it's as if all these people had agreed to endorse or campaign for Raila Amolo Odinga. Yes. So from that event, ladies and gentlemen, there are some things that came out very clearly from that event. There are some things that I learned from that event, ladies and gentlemen. The first lesson I learned from that event, going by the speeches of the leaders, is that Raila phobia in Mount Kenya might be dying out. It might be slowly dying out, ladies and gentlemen. About some 4 years ago, before the handshake, no elected leaders from Mount Kenya region could afford to be seen with Raila Amolo Odinga in public. And none of any elected leaders could even think of endorsing a Raila presidency. But today in Muranga, all these leaders were somehow as if they that agreed to endorse Raila Amolo Odinga. That's a clear indication that Raila phobia in Mount Kenya region might be dying out. The residents or even the leaders in that area might be slowly embracing Raila Amolo Odinga. That's something, or rather a lesson I learned today from that meeting. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, we also had other governors outside of Mount Kenya region. We had others from Nyanza, Kisii, we also had others from Kamba. We had Alfred Mutua. Alfred Mutua, when given the chance to speak, ladies and gentlemen, he told Raila asibembeleze watu. And he started by praising Raila and telling Raila that Raila has a stand and that other leaders have no stand. They are here today, tomorrow they are there. And he was telling Raila not to plead with them. And Alfred Mutua made it clear that he will work with Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, and any other leaders. And that Raila wasibembelezani na watu. That was seen as a direct attack on Kalonzo Musyoka. We know that in the recent days, ladies and gentlemen, Kalonzo Musyoka has been blowing hot and cold. One today is saying something, tomorrow is saying a totally different thing. So that statement by Alfred Mutua was seen to be attacking Kalonzo Musyoka. Because in the recent few days, Kalonzo has come out as somebody who lacks a clear stand on what he wants to do politically. So that's also an indication, ladies and gentlemen, that in the event Kalonzo balls out from any alliance with Raila Amolo Odinga, then the likes of Mutua might just replace Kalonzo Musyoka. Because yesterday also, Makueni Governor Kivuta Kibwana also dared Kalonzo Musyoka to expel him from Wiper Party. And we know that Kivutha Kibwana, Alfred Mutua, and also Charity Ngilu, they are somehow in a political tug of war with Kalonzo and his Wiper team. So in the event Kalonzo and Wiper walks out of any kind of alliance between Raila and Uhuru, we might just see these governors all ganging up against Kalonzo, and these governors might be used pretty well to walk away with some votes, some Ukambani votes. They might deny Kalonzo some very good votes from Ukambani. That also came out clearly from that meeting today. And then thirdly, a lesson I also learned from the meeting yesterday is that Uhuru Kenyatta's handshake with Raila Amolo Odinga is still very strong as of today. We know that one day in Kenyan politics, ladies and gentlemen, is like the biblical 1,000 years. One thing can happen today in Kenya, tomorrow is a different thing. But from the speeches by Rafael Tuju, who really asked the people who are there, what does bottom-up economics means in Kiswahili? And then everybody broke into laughter. Yani that was just to send a message that as Jubilee Party, they don't understand William Ruto's bottom-up economics. And you know, when Tuju speaks, Tuju is a very, very close ally of the president and also the Jubilee Secretary General. So in short, Tuju was just trying to insinuate that as Jubilee Party, they are not together with William Ruto, or they don't understand his brand of politics. They don't understand his bottom-up economics. Yes. So that was also an indication that as of now, Uhuru and Raila, their alliance might still be doing very well, and they are still intact. Then another lesson that I learned was that this whole thing of bottom-up kind of economics is just some kind of a clever strategy by the Uda Brigade or Tangatanga Brigade to hoodwink the masses into voting for them. And then after they are voted into office, then they will dump these people they are calling hustlers. Because Gladys Wanga also revealed something. You know, Gladys Wanga sponsored a bill in parliament that increased artist skiza tune revenue from 16% to 41%. So that event today was meant to celebrate that. And then Gladys Wanga also shocked very many Kenyans when she said that when they were pushing for the bill in parliament, Tanga leaders who are talking about hustlers were nowhere to be seen. And it's only most likely the handshake team and brigade who made sure that that bill passed in parliament. And then here we have these Tanga leaders in rallies talking of how they love hustlers. But when a legislation that is meant to benefit the hustlers is being passed in parliament, they are nowhere to be seen. That also exposed these Tanga leaders as people who are just there to hoodwink the masses or the hustlers to get elected into offices, and then they dump those hustlers at a time when they are meant to help or serve the hustlers. That's also a lesson that I learned from that event today, ladies and gentlemen. And then something also came out very, very clearly from that rally today. You know, when given the podium to speak, Peter Kenneth spoke so well. And somebody could easily compare the kind of speech by Peter Kenneth and the kind of speech by these Tanga leaders, Moses Kurias and this Kimani Chungwa. Peter Kenneth spoke very soberly, and everybody who might have watched the speech, ladies and gentlemen, can agree with me, ladies and gentlemen, that Kenya, we need leaders like Peter Kenneth. Very sober, very articulative, and very, very humble. We need such leaders. We don't want leaders who, when given the podium to speak, they just insult others. We need leaders like Peter Kenneth. So the event has just ended about some few minutes ago, ladies and gentlemen. And from that event in general, it just proves beyond any reasonable doubt that Mount Kenya leaders, those allied to the president, might be mulling of a possibility of supporting a Raila Amolo Odinga presidency. That came out very, very clearly today from the kind of speeches they were speaking today. Because all the leaders who stood to speak, be it Maina Kamanda, Kanini Kega, Mauka Maore, they were just trying to, as if they were campaigning for Raila Amolo Odinga. And also, before I forget, there is Mauka Maore, who when also given the podium to speak, he said that he had done his research and that those who fall in the category of hustlers, there are about 22 million Kenyans. These Mama Mbogas and all these, they are about 22 million. Though I believe they might be higher, far much higher than that. So he has done his mathematics, because the hustler team have been saying that they'll give every hustler about 100,000. So if you give 22 million Kenyans about 100,000 Kenya shillings, that turns into trillions. And trillions even bigger than Kenya's budget in 1 year. So in short, Mauka Mahori was just trying to say that all this hustler narrative, these are just meant to hoodwink or cheat the masses. Because the money that William Ruto is promising to give hustlers is bigger or is more than Kenya's budget. Yes, it's more than Kenya's budget. So he also just exposed the Tanga narrative as something that is just there meant to hoodwink the masses. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, if you've just bumped on this YouTube channel, tap on the subscription button and also kindly give this video a like. Give it a like. In this YouTube channel, we do a daily political analysis on current and latest political news and events, just like this one of today. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana. Tamu sana.